ChatGPT is all the rage these days. Find out how these 3 Amazon sellers are using it to help them level up in e-commerce. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. The costs of selling on Amazon are constantly rising. It's time to really focus on growing your bottom line profit. Getita is the global leader in Amazon FBA reimbursements and audits tens of billions of dollars in FBA transactions daily. Getita helps Amazon sellers worldwide get maximum FBA reimbursements, unlock hidden funds, improve cash flow, and greatly boost profit. As an SSP listener, you can get your first $400 in FBA reimbursements with Getita for free. Visit getita.com/SSP to activate your offer. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And we've got 3 sellers on here today, 2 of whom have been on the podcast before, but we are going to be strictly talking about ChatGPT, how it can be used with Helium 10, maybe some other stuff we'll have time to do, but that seems to be like all the rage nowadays, about ChatGPT. I myself don't really dabble in it. So I was like, you know what? Instead of trying to learn about it on my own, let me bring in 3 people who have been using it for a couple of months now and see what input they can give in. Now, we'll introduce our other guests soon, but let's first go ahead and introduce the one here who is new to the show, which is Bopio. Bopio Tepenim, Orumanida.
Hi. Hi, Bradley. How are you? I'm doing good.
All right, I'm doing good too. So for those, these guys here didn't see my intro, but I used an intro clip where I was at the Blackpink concert, and I'm a Blackpink diehard fan. I got my Blackpink shirt. I got this. I don't even. What do you call these things? These like hammers, or light sticks, or
maybe light stick.
Yeah. But I was right there front row. I took my daughter. The excuse was that it's my daughter's favorite, but it's really mine, so that's why I use her as an excuse. But anyways, you're from Korea but based in the United States, right?
Yeah, I'm from South Korea, but I'm living in New York. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, we're going to go a little bit into your backstory because Jansen and Trevin, we've gone into their backstory before. So were you born and raised in Korea?
Yes, I was born South Korea, and then I raised South
part?
Korea. Yeah. I grew up in Seoul, and
excellent. So Seoul, and then what brought you to the United States?
Because I was doing something, e-commerce business. That's why I'm going to New York, and so I'm living in New York, and I had some, e-commerce experience. And then I started my own business 2019 in Amazon business. Yeah.
Okay. Were you doing e-commerce in Korea?
Not really, but just one day I want to do e-commerce thing because its world is changing. I don't want to spend my time for somebody else, so I want to do my own thing. Yeah.
Okay. Did you go to university in Korea?
Yes, but I dropped the university, and then
I love it.
I dropped. Yeah, I dropped, and then.
What did your parents think of that? That's not exactly a very good thing to do in a Korean family, from what I understand.
Yeah. My parents told me, "What are you doing, man?" And then I told him I want to going to United States, looking for something my goal, and
you stuck with it. I like it. So now that you're doing well. Are they like more? Are they now like kind of more okay with the career path that you chose?
Yeah, I really like it living in United States with my wife. And my wife was my college friend, so she and me.
It sounds like together. A Korean drama right there. All I do is watch Korean dramas. That sounds like a perfect story. Disobey the parents, run off to America with your college sweetheart. Oh, we need to make this on KBS or Netflix or something.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good story. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so now you said you started it in Amazon in 2019.
Yeah.
And how's that been going for you?
I was watching some couple of video. I just told Trevin Peterson today. I was watching Trevin Peterson video and YouTube. It was 2019. And then I just
wait, hold on. You're saying you were introduced to Amazon because of Trevin's videos?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know that. That's what a small world. This is perfect. Like I might seem like the most amazing podcast coordinator in the world to plan that, but no, I didn't plan that at all. That's pretty cool.
Yes, so I have my own YouTube channel. My subscriber, they usually living in South Korea.
Mhm.
So I pick some couple of, good guru. I mean, Trevin Peterson, and then
Mhm.
other person, and introduce to my subscriber. And so they know Trevin Peterson, and they know
So
also
Trevin, if he would
graduation.
go to Korea, he's already kind of a little bit famous. He's kind of like an idol over there already, huh?
Yeah, of course I can make it some party or meeting or whatever. I can do everything. Yeah.
I love it. I love
Hmm.
it. It was actually your group that when I went to Korea a couple months ago, and I
Yeah.
went out to dinner for some samgyeopsal. That was
Yeah.
with your community, right?
Yeah, my community, one of my member. So I told him that brother is going to Korea, so you guys make it some dinner or whatever, and then he made me. So yeah, you meet my
What's his name
member.
again? I'm like so bad with names. I have to thank him on the
Um,
online here.
so the group member leader, his name is Sangji. I mean,
That's right. That's right.
yeah,
Yes.
Sangji. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So hey, Sangshi,
Mm-hmm.
감사합니다. Thank you so much for that dinner. That was amazing. But
Yeah.
okay, so now you really copied, not copied, but you really kind of like followed the path of Trevin. You started selling on Amazon yourself, and then you even made a YouTube channel about it. Kind of just kind of like Trevin's journey there. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. So go
you
ahead.
see my background, the Amazon FBA, this thing. Yeah, Trevin Peterson has that one. So yeah, that's why I bought it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So you see, Trevin, you never know how many people you're inspiring out there, even in other countries that you had no idea. I love it. All right, so we'll get back to you in a little bit. Let's introduce our other couple of guests here. We've got Trevin, and we're not going to go too much into his backstory, guys. If you have a pen, I looked up his old podcast episodes. So if you want to, get the history of how Trevin started, he's really come a long ways. The first time he was on our podcast was all the way back in 2019. So check out episode 89 of the podcast, and then I believe episode 213 he was also on. And then we've also got Jansen from the UK, and his story is in episode 362. All right, so we're not going to go into the full story like we did with Bopio here, but first of all, Trevin, welcome back to the show. How things been going for you?
Thank you for having me. I love these podcasts. I listen to them, and things are going great. I just turned 27, so I just had my birthday weekend this just a couple of days ago, and feeling good.
Awesome. And Jansen, welcome. It's late over there, isn't it? What time is it where you are?
It is, yeah. It's 10 to 11, so I'm showing a lot of commitment here. Past my
I love it. Hey, the entrepreneurs, we don't know. There's no such thing as sleep for us.
Absolutely.
Now, Jansen, some of our audience, I think a lot of our audience knows about ChatGPT, AI, things like that. But there's probably some people who are like, well, what is ChatGPT? So, if you were to explain it, the technology at least, or what it is, how it started, like in a minute, putting you on the spot here, you be the one to just explain the concept of it first.
I would say that it's a piece of artificial intelligence that is able to that is designed as a chatbot. So you can ask it pretty much any question, and it will use all of the resources available on the internet as of, I believe, 2021. I think it's a couple of years out of date, and its own algorithms to answer pretty much any question or task. And the questions that you set it don't just have to be factual. So who was the president of the United States, etc. You can say things like, please rewrite the following paragraph, or please summarize XYZ. So it's incredibly powerful. And the great thing is that it's, as of now, it's completely free. There are paid plans, but it's a great tool to use.
Okay. And then how did you first have the idea where you're like, I can use this, along with, Helium 10, or I can use this to help my Amazon business? Was it like as soon as it came out, you're like, oh my goodness, this is a no brainer. I'm going directly to this, or?
I saw a lot about it in the news and thought, okay, I'll try it out. And I think my first question was just something very basic, like, who won the World Cup in 1998, and it got it right. So I was like, okay, let's try and make this a bit harder now. And then I started to throw Amazon-related questions at it. So I think I said, I've just had a customer complaining about a product not working. Please write a response back to the customer, and then it did it. And then I just thought, just try and push it to see what it can do. Started weaving in various tools and analysis that Helium 10 had provided, and was very impressed with the results. And the amazing thing is, this technology is still in its infancy. If you think it only was publicly released in November 2022, so who knows how powerful this thing will be in a year's time, in 2 years' time.
We're going to be going back and forth with everybody to go over some of their strategies. So let's start with Trevin. The first strategy I wanted you to talk about, you had submitted a few that we could choose from here for talking about today. The first one I wanted to hear about is something that I don't even know what this is, because I saw briefly one of your videos you did on it, but maybe you mentioned this, maybe you didn't. I'm just, my memory's bad. But you mentioned that you're using ChatGPT with Helium 10 portals. So if you could explain that strategy for me and for the audience.
Yeah, so Helium 10 portals is a tool that not a lot of people talk about. And I think it's a great way to help kind of build your brand off of Amazon. So what I've been doing lately is putting a lot of focus on trying to build an email list and trying to expand beyond the Amazon platform. And so for those that don't know what Helium 10 portals is you can build different landing pages. They have different templates to create product inserts and just a lot of cool different things. So what I've been doing is with Helium 10 portals and ChatGPT is you can literally ask ChatGPT literally anything. It's incredible. And I'm kind of disappointed, Bradley, that you're not using it yourself. So maybe after this, you'll jump on board. But you can ask it any question, and I basically am like, hey, help me with a header or a tagline, or help me with this piece of copy, and it helps me generate basically the perfect landing page. So that's just kind of one aspect of it, is you can use it to help with your landing pages, your websites, about us pages, whatever it is. You can just ask ChatGPT the question and it will help you. But then kind of the second point to it is, once you collect the information, so you have emails, whether you're giving a warranty in return for an email, whether you're giving a free ebook, or whatever you want to do in exchange for an email. Once you get those emails, you can then have ChatGPT curate the perfect email sequence to cross promote your products, to sell other products, to sell your current products. And that's what I've been doing, is instead of paying a copywriter that's super expensive, you can literally just go ask ChatGPT, hey, write email sequence to help promote or cross promote XYZ product. And boom, it'll give you like a full blown email, and you can say, hey, give me 5 emails, and it will give you an entire like email sequence to promote your product. So that's a great way to kind of use ChatGPT to help build your brand off of Amazon. And that's just one of the ways that I've been utilizing the tool.
Okay, cool. I like it. New stuff we're learning here. Bopio, what about you? You had submitted a couple of strategies, and the one I wanted to ask you first about was how you're using it for Amazon review analysis.
One of my favorite tools is Helium 10 Review Insight. So I'm just going to some product if I want to launch a similar product, and then I just select review 2-star, 1-star to 3-star review, and then download from Review Insight to CSV file. And then when I download it, and then I just copy and paste, all title and body and all negative review, right? And then I just put it in ChatGPT, and then just tell ChatGPT, just summarize this review, and then what is the 3-point improvement to this review, and then I can check easily, because I don't want to read everything, because too much too many review, and then I need to spend more time. So ChatGPT I'm using that way too. Yeah,
I love it. All right, so we talked about Helium 10 portals, review insights, using the review analysis. there. Let's go to Jansen now. I want to hear about how you had a unique one about using ChatGPT with Cerebro as far as a way to kind of differentiate your product. So that was all that I saw. Like, I purposely didn't read the whole things because I wanted to like learn about it with everybody else. But I saw that as the headline. I'm like, all right, I don't understand. So take it away and let me learn.
So I think one of the really important things to get right when you're launching a new product on Amazon is that you're differentiating and offering something different. And that is actually quite a bit harder than it sounds. And it's an area that a lot of people struggle with. And historically, what I've always done to help me find ways to differentiate is to look at what customers are searching for. That might not actually be available on Amazon. So just as an example, if you're selling yoga mats and you see that tons of customers are searching for, I don't know, pink yoga mat, and there are no pink yoga mats, then you've got a way to differentiate. So using Cerebro and actually Magnet, which are both keyword research tools of Helium 10, you can get the output of those tools and get ChatGPT to go through them and tell you what customers ways to differentiate according to what customers are saying. So I actually did this earlier on just to prove to you, Bradley, as well, that how effective a method this is.
I'm telling you, like, I am a skeptic, so you need to prove to me. So
the first thing I did is I went on to Helium 10 into the Magnet tool. I'm pretending that I'm selling yoga mats, and I just typed in my seed keyword, which is yoga mat. So I typed in yoga mat. Helium 10 then basically came back with a ton of keywords related to yoga mat that real life customers are using. Then I ordered it in order of search volume, and then literally exported that list into CSV, just how Bobby was talking about earlier, and then said to ChatGPT, I said, based on the below list of customer suggestions, what different ways can I improve upon my yoga mat product? And then just pasted in that Magnet list of keywords. And it's so impressive. It literally went through about 50 of these keywords and said, different things you can do could be make thicker yoga mats, create a travel mat that you can take around with you. You can add a towel, bundle in a towel, create like a small customized bag, and so on and so on. So, this task that I just set it was done in about 30 seconds. And had I been doing that manually, I probably would have been going through the list, probably would have taken at least 30 minutes. And in some cases, I may have seen some of the search suggestions by customers and not connected the dots. So I may have seen, I don't know, yoga bag and just thought, oh, that's not relevant. But ChatGPT is saying, with your yoga mat, why don't you bundle in a mat? And, this is just a really basic example of a yoga, like a generic product. But I do think that if you can find a product with demand and it's profitable and so on, and you do this little task here, you're going to be, blown away at the different ideas that you get given. And, it's the exact same process with Helium 10 Cerebro as well. So you run a Cerebro reverse keyword search on your competitors, you find out the relevant keywords that they're ranking for, and then ask ChatGPT for its suggestions.
I love it. All right, there we go. There's 3 different Helium 10 tools that we can use ChatGPT. Let's go away from Helium 10 a little bit. Trevin, you had a strategy that has to do not with Helium 10, but just, or I don't think it's about Helium 10, but how to help work with your virtual assistants?
Yeah, so ChatGPT is obviously a great tool for people that aren't native speakers. So a lot of your virtual assistants, they may not have the best grammar, they may not know how to write properly. And so there's 2 things, and Jansen mentioned the first one was for basically customer support emails. So you could delegate this to a virtual assistant, and literally any question that a customer has, a complaint, a problem, you just go into ChatGPT and say, hey, I have an issue with this product. We want to obviously make things right, write an email, and literally ChatGPT will generate a customer support email for you. The second way is one thing that I've been focusing a lot lately is Amazon posts and trying to automate that. And it is time consuming. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. But if you can have a virtual assistant be able to do this for you, it can open up a lot of time on your hands. So basically what you can do is on Amazon Posts, for those that aren't familiar with it, it's basically like an Instagram, but inside of Amazon. And you go in and you create these different posts, these pictures, and then you have captions, and then you can tag the product that you're selling. And so a virtual assistant in the past, at least from my experience, every time I've hired a virtual assistant to help with social media or coming up with captions, they're just not very creative. They're kind of repetitive. They have misspelling, they have errors. And so you can have your virtual assistant just go in and ask ChatGPT, hey, I sell a dog leash, or let's say yoga mats. I sell yoga mats. Please write 20 Instagram captions for yoga mats. And boom, it'll generate 20 captions in a matter of 20 seconds of things that you could then use for Amazon posts and for Instagram. And then that way you can start basically being omnipresent. And if you're posting on Amazon posts, you might as well start posting on Instagram, Facebook, and all the other social platforms. So utilizing that tool to help with virtual assistants to be able to do those tasks that are super important, but they're just time consuming, is a great way to kind of go about it.
So what would be like the prompt that you would, or what would you exactly input into ChatGPT to get what you just said?
Yeah, so that's literally what I would ask. It's as crazy as it sounds. You would literally ask ChatGPT, what write me 20 or 10 or 5 or however many you want. Write me 20 Instagram captions about my yoga mat and make it funny or make it entertaining, make it engaging, or sell the product. And then it will go in and create it. And then what's cool is once you have the 20, you can say, give me 10 more, give me 5 more, give me 50 more. And then if you don't like the captions that you're getting, you can kind of rewrite your question. And that's kind of the most important thing, is you just kind of have to tinker around with it and adjust the way that you ask the question, because depending on how you ask it is obviously they're going to generate the response according to that question. So you just kind of go in and kind of alter different things. And that's what I've been doing, is literally that simple question is just write me 10 Instagram captions about a yoga mat. You'll be shocked at what it will give you.
All right, Bopio, another one that doesn't have to do with Helium 10. I think you had something about making like A/B testing for titles.
Yeah, but this feature is also I'm using Helium 10 X-ray tools,
Okay,
because
sounds good to me.
Sounds good, right? Because copy and paste all different product title I need to spend so many time. So I just going to page number 1 and then using X-ray and download the CSV file, and then just maybe ranking number 1 to 10 product title, and then put it in the ChatGPT, and then number 1, 2, 3, 2, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, right? And then just ask ChatGPT, what are you thinking? You are AI, right? And what is it thinking? What is the best title for this category? And then ChatGPT just pick one, and then I ask ChatGPT, okay, can you make a similar product title? This product title, and then ChatGPT just making me similar to product title. Yeah, and yeah, this is very interesting. So I'm just checking, right? What is the ChatGPT choose? And actually, I'm using X-Ray. That product actually sells really good product. So I mean, not all the time 100% ChatGPT is right, but when I trying to using ChatGPT product title A/B test, yeah, ChatGPT choosing product is also selling good product. Yeah.
As long as our titles are optimized well with the keywords, like what ChatGPT puts out is well optimized as far as your top keywords. If you still can't make a decision, I would use like Helium 10 audience, which is PickFu, and you can possibly get some human feedback also on what ChatGPT comes out with. But some people, they don't even know how to get to something that they could poll a human being with, because they're like, I don't even know where to start with my title. So that's a great strategy for at least having a great starting point. Jansen, what about building a brand story?
Yeah, so building a brand story, again, it can be something that's quite difficult, especially if you find a product that you want to sell that you're not particularly passionate about and you don't really have an interest in. You just want to make some money. So with ChatGPT, you can say to it, I sell XYZ product. I'm based in the UK. It's always best, as the guys just said earlier, that you try and give as much information as you can to help ChatGPT come up with something for you. So in my case, I said I was based in the UK. I said the product that I sold, and then I said who the customer was. So my customer is somebody that loves exercising and going to the gym. Please write me a 300-word brand story. And then again, within about a minute, it will give you 3 or 4 paragraphs talking about, and a lot of it is actually made up, but it does work. It'll be talking about how the brand started, where you're based, a bit about the product, and so on. So that's a great way to curate your brand story and then put it onto your listing, which Amazon offers in a separate section. The one thing I would say, though, and this goes without saying for anything that ChatGPT actually writes, is always read through what it actually says, because I have come across a few instances where it just flat out lies or makes something up. And if you didn't actually read it, you just paste it somewhere, it might look a little bit silly.
Good suggestion. Don't don't turn control over to the robots completely, guys. You gotta have a human look at it a little bit too. All right, Trevin, for your last one, I heard you have a listing optimization strategy on how you're using ChatGPT with Helium 10 as well.
Yeah, so I think ChatGPT, when it comes to listing optimization, is like the best use case to basically use the tool. In the past, it would take me an hour, 2 hours, depending on how much time and effort I would put into basically creating my title, bullet points, description. And what you can do is ChatGPT can help with your existing listing or a new listing. So let's first talk about an existing listing. What you can do is you can copy your bullet points, throw it into ChatGPT, and just say, hey, make this more engaging, make this a little bit more eloquent, make this more funny, or just make it more tailored to your brand, or more gangster. Depending on the type of product that you sell, you could kind of rewrite your bullet points that fit kind of your brand. And I'm surprised at like me doing that. It just gives it a little bit more flair to your listing than me writing it myself. It comes up with like cliche and catchy phrases and sayings that is entertaining and fun and engaging for a customer to read. And so that's what you can do with your kind of existing bullet points. And then what I recommend doing is obviously you want to pull your keywords, use Cerebro, use Magnet, find your main keywords, and then you'll want to put that into Scribbles and make sure that you're not removing the important keywords. And that's where you want to manually check it yourself. So you would throw in the bullet points that they came up with, cross check it, make sure that you still have the keywords in there so that you're still optimized. And so that's kind of one kind of pro tip with that. But kind of same thing applies with a new listing. Is you do the same exact thing. You find your main keywords, you pull it from Cerebro, and then you go to ChatGPT and you say, hey, write me 5 benefits of my yoga mat. I sell this product and include these keywords. And I'm blown away with the 5 benefits that ChatGPT will come up with. And like they're better benefits than I could come up with myself. And they'll give you just like 5 solid bullet points. And then again, if you don't like those bullet points, you say, give me 10, and it will give you 10 bullet points. You could say, give me 100, and it will give you 100 different item lines. And then you can go in and you pick each one. And then I would basically say, okay, I like this benefit the best, because obviously when writing a description, that's kind of a main key component to it, is you want to explain and tell the customer why your product is better, why they should buy it. And then you find the top 5 best benefits. Then you'll obviously want to paste that into Scribbles. And then again, just cross-check it and make sure that you have the right keywords in your listing, so that you're optimized, that you can be indexed, that you're searchable and whatnot. So that's one use case that I've used. And like I mentioned, takes me an hour, 2 hours, depending on how much time I spend. And I just created a brand new listing with 3 variations, did that same exact strategy. And it took me 15 minutes to create a listing that was better than the one where I took 2-3 hours.
All right, cool. All right, Bopio, what I'm going to ask you, I'm going to skip to the end, is something that you have thought about. Man, I wish I could do this inside of Helium 10 with ChatGPT, but I can't do it. Like, is there anything like if all of a sudden I invited you to talk to our development team, what would you have them do first? By the way, they
Yeah,
all listen to this show, so you literally are talking to our development
yeah,
team right now.
yeah. I hope you guys put ChatGPT, maybe I don't know some feature, but if you guys put your Cerebro,
Mhm.
put ChatGPT feature, right, and then maybe just your customer, I mean, Helium 10 regular user, they can just ask, Helium 10, what is my best keyword for,
Mm.
PPC, then
Mhm.
Cerebro collecting all keywords, right? And then ChatGPT check each keyword and then just ChatGPT giving the user maybe five best keywords, something like that. Yeah, I think that is going to be game changer for Amazon PPC.
Okay. Cool. Jensen, you had one about if you get suspended, a way that you can use ChatGPT.
Yeah, so hopefully this doesn't actually happen to anybody that's listening or watching. But if it does, when you get suspended by Amazon, they'll typically ask you to put together a plan of action, which is where you say what happened and how you'll put things right so it doesn't happen again. And I did actually help somebody that got suspended for selling too many defective items by basically using ChatGPT to come up with different ideas of what they could do better next time. So I simply asked it, well, I basically told it the problem. I said, I sell on Amazon and I've been suspended because I've been selling too many faulty items. Please write 300 words on corrective actions or something like that. And then it will basically, well, it spat out like 5 or 6 reasons saying, ways that you can improve. So getting quality control checks, visiting supplier factory, and so on and so on. So, I think that's similar to what Trevin was saying. That it's really, really good for idea generation. If you've already got a few ideas yourself, but you're struggling, ChatGPT can provide other ways to put things right effectively.
Okay. And then what about you? If you're talking directly to our developers, what would you want in a perfect world, Helium 10 to integrate ChatGPT or any of these other AIs?
I was thinking about this when you were asking a moment ago. I think black box, you could potentially improve that further with AI by just allowing somebody to specifically type out the type of product that they're looking for. Maybe if you got shown products that you'd already seen, you could say, show me products that I haven't seen previously, or really dig down into more specific criteria about the type of product that you're looking for.
Okay, I like it. Nobody's talked about black box yet. Trevin, you had did you have one more also strategy you were doing?
No, no, those were the
Those,
three main ones that.
okay, so then what about you? What's your yeah, you already gave. Did you see that's how bad my memory is. I don't even remember what happened 10 minutes ago. I'm like the guy from 51st Dates movie. But what would you say is on your wish list for Helium 10 to integrate AI?
Yeah, so I've seen a few other companies that are specifically using AI for listing optimization. And so it's Amazon specific. And so basically, you would create a listing optimization tool for them to write your title, your listing, and the bullet points. And it's more tailored specific to Amazon. So there's certain criterias of like, okay, this is how a formatted Amazon listing is written. This is how many characters are in the title. This is how many characters you need in each bullet point. And then there's different like ways to toggle to change it to be again more funny, more gangster, more formal, less formal, more eloquent, whatever you want to describe or whatever your kind of the vibe that you're trying to give off in your listing. And I've seen some other people do something, but I still feel like it's wide open and there's still somebody that needs to do it better. So I think a listing optimization tool to build off of Listing Analyzer and Scribbles to almost make it automated to where AI is writing the listing for you.
Yeah. Just to add to that point, I do think that eventually AI is going to be able to do every single part of an Amazon listing, including images. So one piece of AI that we haven't actually mentioned is like ChatGPT's sister, which is DALI 2. And at the moment, it's quite basic in the type of images that it can make in terms of how realistic it is. But I do think it's not going to be long before you can say, I sell yoga mats, provide me 5 different images of the yoga mat being used in XYZ scenario, and it will do whether it's photoshopping or just making the image itself. So if you could also have a word with the developers and weave that in as well, I think it'll be a killer platform.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Now, one thing that even though a couple of you guys have been on this show before, but I've only been doing it like in 2023 is I try and preach a lot to everybody who's listening about as entrepreneurs, we need to make sure that we are able to disconnect ourselves from Amazon, from whatever we're doing and enjoy life. Hobbies, have healthy habits for diet, for mental health, whatever. So first, Bopio, what about you? What's your hobby of what you do when you're like, hey, I just want to get away from Amazon and YouTube and things?
My hobby is I'm just falling in love, all AI tools.
I thought he was going to give some romantic post about his wife. I'm falling in love with my wife every day over and over. She's listening to this episode
AI.
like, oh, honey,
Yeah,
Jagia.
falling in love.
No.
Oh yeah, Jagia was meaning. Yeah. So yeah, I made another community actually only for AI community. So ChatGPT is only one of the things. So I'm just
Okay, but you
focused
see,
on.
this is why I asked this, because you are like me, Bopio. Like sometimes even our hobby is really more work. Don't
Yeah,
you
really
do
more
anything that
work.
completely has nothing to do with e-commerce
Yeah.
and what is it?
I don't have any hobby.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Come on, man.
Sometimes I read a book. That's it. I read a book and then I just just work. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, you see, this is why I do this, because we as entrepreneurs are sometimes we don't know how to take it easy. So Bopio, you stick with me. I'll show you some good Korean dramas or something to watch, and then you need to take yourself away from Amazon
Yeah,
sometime.
I am tired of watching Korean drama because my wife always, you have to watch this. This guy is so handsome. So
Oh yeah, that's actually not cool. Oh my goodness. What's her favorite drama?
no, her. I don't know. She's watching something now in Netflix. She's watching Trolley. I don't know the exact name, but Trolley something. And then she's also watching some, or romantic story thing. Because the all Korean man is so handsome in that drama. But I just want to say everybody. That is not regular person. That is only for drama.
It seems regular. You're very handsome yourself, Bopio. So it seems like this is real life too.
So I think the
People just
BTS
like
and
skipping to this part of the episode. I thought this was an Amazon episode. We're talking about handsome Korean guys. What is going on?
I
Jansen's
think
like,
so.
what kind of show am I on?
Sounds like another podcast idea.
All right. So, guys, obviously, Bopio needs some work with learning how to enjoy himself. Jansen, I hope you have a better answer than him. I hope you are enjoying
It's
life.
hard,
sometimes.
isn't it? Because as an entrepreneur, you just love hustling. So
Sure.
your mind is always whirring away. But definitely agree with you that you need to take breaks, if not just for your mental health. So one thing I've been doing, my kind of New Year's resolution since the start of January, is just going to the gym every single morning. And I find that an hour away from the phone, from the Amazon seller apps, from all the notifications, is so good for mental health, coming out feeling like you've achieved something at the start of the day, feeling positive and so on. So it's a bit cliche, especially for this time of year, but I'd say, going to the gym and just staying consistent with it.
All right, Trevin, I know you, you travel. I see you on Instagram, like water skiing and stuff like that. What would you say is your favorite hobby that you have?
Yeah, so the only two things that I can do and not be thinking about work or business or just problems that happen on a daily basis as being an entrepreneur is fishing and golfing. Those are the only two times that I can literally just sit there for 10 hours and just be casting for 10 hours straight. And that's all I'm thinking about, nothing else. The golf course, not as much because I can still kind of see my phone and the people that I'm with, we're still kind of talking business. But fishing, I 100%, that's my only focus when I'm doing it. So that's a great hobby that I have that just gets me away from the world.
Cool. I love it. All right. How can people find you guys out there? Bopio, since a lot of your community is Korean, go ahead and give 20 seconds of how people can find you, but go ahead and speak in Korean so they can understand.
Okay. My community name is sellerkingdom.com.
That sounds English unless all of a sudden I can understand Korean. Go ahead and say it in Korean.
Yeah. 한국 분이 이걸 듣고 계신다면은 유튜브에 보표의 아마존 FBA 생존기 or 구글에 셀러킹덤이라고 검색을 하시면 됩니다. Yeah.
Cool. I could actually understand that somehow, but too much Korean drama watching for me. All right, Jansen, how can people find you out there?
They can find me on the usual social media channels, so Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, just Jansen Smith, or on YouTube. Name is the same as well, Jansen Smith.
Are you like the only Jansen Smith that comes up in search?
I believe so, yeah.
Usually Smith is kind of a more popular, but the Jansen Smith, I guess, is
if
a
you
little
just
bit more.
type in Smith, you won't find me, but Jansen Smith.
Don't type in Mr. Smith, guys, or Smith YouTube or Smith Amazon or something. All right, Trevin, how about you?
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Is my last name is common, but my first name is not. So if you just search Trevin Peterson, Trevin, and then Peterson with an SON on Google, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere, trevinpeterson.com, that will have that's the easiest ways to contact me.
Awesome. Well, guys, one last thing I just wanted to say, like somebody may be inspired to start diving into ChatGPT. If they are, how would they do that? Like, where do I go to sign up, and what's the process like? Any of you can answer.
Yeah, if you go to chat.openai.com, you will have to sign up. Just because it's so popular at the moment, I've noticed that you'll occasionally go on it and it'll say our servers are overloaded, come back. Just keep refreshing, keep hammering those servers, and they'll let you on. And then you can register within 5 minutes, and straight away you can be asking it questions.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And who knows? A year from now, we might be living in the world like Terminator, where Skynet has taken over the world. Like some super AI. I don't know, but this is the beginning. We can point back to where it all started, kind of around this time. 2023 AI starts taking over. What'd you say?
You could have ChatGPT on the podcast as a guest.
That's right. I might be short on guests. I'll be like, all right, ChatGPT, come on we'll give you a voice prompt, and you can actually I've seen it where they create human beings and they make it say whatever. It's crazy. It's insane. Yeah. I never thought I'd see this kind of stuff.
I'm going to retire from YouTube here in a second when I can just generate scripts from ChatGPT and then put it into AI to where it's literally my face talking and I don't even have to be on camera. So I'm excited for that.
And then Bopio will create like a robot to watch the Korean dramas with his wife so that he doesn't have to. I mean, like there's just so many things you could do.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode.